Hey everybody, Jason Bermas here, and I'm hoping I'm sounding good and I'm looking okay. And basically today we're going to talk about the extension of what I've been talking about via the Ukraine, space warfare, autonomous drones, satellites, DARPA, and Zombie J, the poopy pants president. Okay? Just so everybody can tell, obviously I'm not in studio today, am I? No. And let me know in the comment section. By the way, we're going to take your comments and questions a little bit later on right here. What's up, MF Doom? And that's over at YouTube. A little housekeeping, okay, before we get going into this video and I show you, this $800 million that they're talking about really is nothing. The Phoenix Ghost drone. That is something, and the other type of drone warfare and the stuff that they're not telling you about and utilizing, Trojan horse civilian systems. That's the big deal. Okay, you understand? That's the big deal. That's what we have to be focusing on. But I wanted to start to say, well, Jason, why haven't you been doing videos? Just so everybody knows, I drove to Tulsa, Oklahoma through the night last night after doing my first physical therapy. And for those of you that have been following my situation with the vertigo and the eye has not gotten any better. And, obviously the cholesterol granuloma that they found in my head was not the best news. However, talking to and doing physical therapy with a woman who was also a neurosurgeon, it does look like I have what is known as biproximal positional vertigo, and that it is crystals that are basically in the wrong position in my ear, and it's fooling my sensors. And that's why I'm off, guys. I just drove 9.5 hours from Iowa here. But let me tell you, it's not easy. It hasn't been easy. And I did my first big physical therapy yesterday before I drove all the way out here. Okay. And that to me, it was just like, okay, that's kind of nutty, but we did it and I do feel a lot better. And the thing is that I have to do these exercises that make me physically ill and go into vertigo in order to get rid of this thing. And it's tough. It's probably one of the toughest things I've ever been through in my life, and it could be anywhere from like 1 week to 12 weeks. But thank goodness it is something that is treatable, okay? So first of all, I want to point out, now that we're getting into this story, and by the way, thumbs it up, subscribe, and share, and remember all the uncensored stuff, the good stuff is over at rockfin.com/Jason Bermas, is you got the front man, a guy who can barely get around. I mean, think of let's watch this. I mean, again, the man runs nothing. He runs nothing. This is an embarrassment. And yeah, this is a Secret Service agent in there, and everybody's seen it. I can't believe that got the 1.4 million views when it's in such tattered shape in the resolution on that one. But they're trying to cover that up. I mean, give me a break. Honestly, the person in the bunny outfit makes bigger decisions in a day than Joe Biden does. But let's hear him talk. Let's hear him stumble through. I mean, get ready for 90 seconds of hell cometh with Joe Biden, and he's the big guy. He's helping Ukraine.
Today, I'm announcing another $800 million to further augment Ukraine's ability to fight in the east in the Donbas region. This package includes heavy artillery weapons, dozens of howitzers, and 144,000 rounds of ammunition to go with those howitzers. It also includes more tactical drones. In the past 2 months, we've moved weapons and equipment to Ukraine at record speed. We've sent thousands of anti-armor and anti-missile helicopters, drones, grenade launchers, machine guns, rifles, radar systems. More than 50 million rounds of ammunition had already been sent.
I mean, to me, this is like, yeah, we're trying to start World War III. I mean, if they're telling you about these ghost drones, can you imagine what they're not telling you about? I mean, what is it that's going to spark this off into a global conflict? I mean, on Russian state media, they're already openly talking about it, guys.
The United States alone has provided 10 anti-armor systems for every one Russian tank that's in Ukraine, a 10-to-1 ratio. We're sharing and will continue to share significant timely intelligence with Ukraine to help defend them against Russian aggression. And on top of this, these direct contributions from the United States, we're the outfit facilitating the significant flow of weapons and systems to Ukraine from other allies and partners around the world, like the S-300 long-range anti-aircraft systems that Slovakia recently transferred to Ukraine. We are getting them in there. We won't always be able to advertise everything that our partners are doing to support Ukraine and its fight for freedom, but to modernize Teddy Roosevelt.
He invokes Teddy Roosevelt. I mean, it's beyond parody, folks. It's beyond parody. He has no decision making. Zero, zip, zilch. That's not a thing. That's not a thing. And now, again, the main buzz around people that are supplying the weapon systems, okay? They're front companies. Vandenberg Air Force Base, where all of these satellites are being launched at via SpaceX, that's where much of the classified secret space program has been run out of for decades. And they're running military cargo. And he's talking about weapon systems off a cue card, by the way, because he makes no decisions. Kamala Harris's top aide again resigned today. These are horrible people. They are destroying this country in front of us and putting us into wars that are then being used to blame inflation and every other derogatory thing going on in your life. So let's talk about these ghost drones, okay? The ghost drones. All right. Here we go. The latest $800 million package of weaponry President Biden is sending to Ukraine includes dozens of Phoenix ghost drones, the Pentagon says, that were expedited specifically to aid in the fight against Russia. Oh, great. The unmanned aerial vehicles, AEVEX Aerospace, were rapidly deployed by the Air Force in response specifically to Ukrainian requirements, Pentagon spokesman John Kirby told reporters Thursday. Kirby said the drones have similar but distinct capabilities to the Switchblade. Now, the lovely little Switchblade drones the U.S. had already been providing Ukraine to target both Russian personnel and tanks. Okay, again, their communication systems run by Starlink enable those drones. Blackjack is the military program, and they just launched. In fact, let's do it live. Let's do it live. SpaceX literally over Easter weekend launched more of their drones. SpaceX launches DARPA drone. Let's see. We'll do it live. Thumbs it up, subscribe, and share. Okay, that's... come on, man. I'm using Brave. It's the worst. Brave, beta. I mean, this is what you got. Safe search is off, United States. An insider's view of DARPA. This comes from 2021. No, not any time. How about past week? SpaceX satellites. Look at that. Hey, at least we can find it here. So private astronauts. Who cares about that at all? See, that's the joke. There it is. The big story is launches satellite. Private astronauts control. You notice how they mix the two? Give me a break. So there's their secret payload for the National Reconnaissance Office. Oh, their secret payload. SpaceX Falcon 9 rockets boosted the NRO's payload into orbit early Sunday after a foggy California launch. Oh yeah, I'm sure it has nothing to do with warfare. I'm sure it's all about how we're going to go to the moon and Mars and private Johnny nonsense in space. Give me a break here. All right, let's go to your questions and comments here, guys. Let's get them up there. Let's see what we got. A ghost drone gonna deliver me a Tesla from the Easter Bunny. Oh yeah. Again, we're in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I've got to get up super early tomorrow. My day starts, I think it's 7 to 3. We'll see what happens in the afternoon. If this broadcast comes through pretty well, maybe we will be doing more broadcasts from the road. But we'll see. I want to thank the tippers over there. Larry House, thank you so much over at Rockfin. We got to get that going. Let me see. Hi, y'all. You may have an interest in following Brendan O'Connell. His channel is a gold mine. By the way of last episode, he takes on Tulsa for real. What's Tulsa for real? What are we talking about? Holy moly, what in the world is a ghost drone? Hope you get to feeling better soon. You know, the thing is that, again, this sucks so bad while we do it. While I do these exercises, guys, that it's gut-wrenching. But, you know, got to get it done. I'm lucky it's not for the rest of my life, right? And then we got to figure out this eye. Hey now. Question is Russia going to let the ghost drone equipment into the Ukraine? I mean, it's a total media blackout. It's a total Western media blackout. Michael Tracy was like one of the only guys pointing out the fact that there are literally no even propaganda pro-U.S. reporters on the scene. And that, you know, we have actual soldiers on these borders. I mean, am I the only one that doesn't want World War III? Am I the only one that's concerned once this pops off, any type of attack within the United States or restrictions or any other kind of crisis could spark, you know, this predator class driven fourth industrial revolution of complete tyranny? Am I it? I mean, I get it. It's out there that people are talking about Yuval Harari a lot and Klaus Schwab a lot. But if you're not talking about Musk in a real sense, and you're not talking about DARPA, and you're not talking about transhumanism, you're not talking about real space warfare. Space Force. Everybody thought it was hilarious. Space Force. That's how they're playing you. That's how they're playing you. You understand? Bernie Sanders talking about Jeff Bezos and his dick rocket. Oh, like that, man. Listen, that is window dressing. Let's get rid of it. Old Joey Two Scoops Biden. Jeez. You are absolutely right, Jason. He is a puppet of the Illuminati, and we all know it deep down. Get to church, get right with your family, and prepare for ultra survival mode. I'll tell you this: have a plan. Have a plan if there are going to be food shortages. And what was the exact term? Extraordinary inflation. Inflation and extraordinary. What did Jen Psaki say about inflation? Psaki, inflation. I think it's extraordinary. We'll do it live, and we'll probably get nowhere because we're using Brave, but that's okay. We'll hone it down. Yes. This is incredible. Yeah, have a plan, everybody. Have a plan when Psaki tells you that it's going to be extraordinarily elevated due to Putin's price hike while they send drones over there and they launch space warfare. I mean, listen to this woman.
So because of the actions we've taken to address the Putin price hike, we are in a better place than we were last month. But we expect March CPI headline inflation to be extraordinarily elevated due to Putin's price hike.
Oh, due to Putin's price hike. Extraordinarily elevated due to, like, we weren't at war in the Middle East in several nations. Like, we're not currently still part of AFRICOM. Like, we're still not currently in operations over in Syria. What imagination land are we in? The Putin's price hike. I mean, they never dared say it was Saddam's price hike or bin Laden's price hike. I mean, they're going full bore. Like, full level, wow, it's over with. We don't have to make any sense anymore. My goodness. Let's keep going through these. I bet he has Velcro shoes instead of shoelaces. Yeah, meanwhile, they're like talking about Elon Musk. And I talked about this on Misty's show. I did do a full hour on Tuesday, if you haven't caught that yet, guys. It was so ridiculous. They're Elon Musk in the press. You know what they're talking about? Oh, Elon Musk is surfing on friends' couches. Oh, wow, he's surfing on friends' couches. That's what? Again, what planet are we on? He's surfing on friends' couches? He increased his wealth by 600% during COVID-19 84. And they're acting like he's Kato fucking Kalin in the guest house over at OJ's place. Get out of here. Wow. I mean, again, that's the press. That's what they're trying to tell you is reality. That's not reality. Let's see. While half the neighborhood lives under the bridge and BlackRock owns all the empty houses. What looks old? I look old? Do I look old? Is this an old video? Old man Bermas in his old train? How's the audio on this, by the way, guys? Protect the innocent, stand up for the aggravated. It is far past time to spread the word and start to trek back our country from evil. How about accountability? How about just not evil? How about bringing back the judicial, the executive, and the legislative? How about actually charging people for treason when they commit it? I was screaming up and down to use the Logan Act for those that conspired against U.S. interests via the Bilderberg Group for decades. I mean, I wanted to go after the people who were doing it for decades. I bitched about it for well over a decade. And then what do? They use it to get Flynn in order to create this Russian narrative of collusion. Just wow sauce. It's wow, wow, wow. So much package. It's a lot of package, my friend. How you doing, Brian, Mr. Telford? Let's see. There we go. We can show that. They don't like that eggplant emoji, apparently. Welcome to the communist America. It will spread from the bigger cities unless the regular plebs like us do something. Well, I'm trying to get better with my head, but I'm going all the way to New York next weekend as well. So, the only reason I didn't do any broadcasts from the road, again, I did it 9.5 hours, and, my head wasn't in the right place. Still, I was just trying to concentrate on the road. The vertigo thing is just so weird. And it is positional, but then after you do the exercises, your head feels foggy. I mean, ugh. I mean, listen, health is what it's all about. They are inflaming this war on purpose. Yes. Pray warriors, unite for Jason's well-being. Well, thank you, critical thinker. I do really appreciate any prayers or thoughts or well wishes. I listen. I'm not trying to bitch, but when it's my eyeball, and then I'm having trouble reading, and then I'm not as confident on air. But then I'll tell you right now, I feel physically vulnerable. Right? I've always felt like, and look, this doesn't mean I'm Chuck fucking Norris, but that I could defend myself in a situation. If I get pushed to the ground and my head goes the wrong way, I mean, it's over. In any situation, and it's not just like a physical altercation, but maybe even a mistake where I lose my balance and trip. Anything could happen. It's just a really weird and, almost like helpless feeling. I don't like feeling helpless ever. And that's why we're doing these exercises, and we're going to get better. Well afraid of the alleged virus. We're on YouTube, bro. What you trying to do here? We're on YouTube. Stop. This is streaming on the tube. By the way, thumbs it up, subscribe, and share, everybody, if you are new. Food processing plants on fire. Welcome to your starvation. I've seen a lot of those videos going around. I have not had any time to actually validate whether or not that's going on or not. I'll tell you this, didn't matter, because I saw the inflation rising in the manner it was. I took my buddy up on his offer to basically go in on both a pig and a cow with him and I think somebody else on both, where we got certain sections of it. And I have a full freezer at home of meat. So, I had ham, a nice juicy real ham steak I wish I had right now in front of me on Easter. Delicious. The war is a distraction from worldwide starvation. Listen, the global starvation's been going on for a long time. This is the one thing I really don't like. We're so arrogant because we have had it good for so long that we don't realize that, for instance, Yemen, because of the extension of what Trump did with the Saudis in the beginning of his presidency, cutting that $400+ billion arms deal and then picking out the targets. Rand Paul called them out on this. Okay, you have a genocide and starvation there, and that's not the only place in the world. The problem is it's now going to come to the first world countries that had freedom. We had freedom and freedom of speech. Yeah, we'll see. But again, have a plan. Have a plan. It's not just a distraction. It's part of the implosion. They want all these crises to happen at once. Not sure I trust Elon, Twitter, SpaceX, anything else, as you should not. Klaus has the Vatican connection. She's got connections everywhere. You know what? Let's give InfoWars a shout out. I know that they gave a shout out to Johnny Vedmore's great article in that latest great Greg Reese piece where they talked about Herman Kahn, Galbraith, and of course Henry Kissinger. And again, you have to understand that these are the prophets of doom. These are the war gamers. These are the planners. I had some comment recently. I read some of it. It was so convoluted and long, and he talked about how his comment was much longer in a very bloviated manner, and basically said that, me and Dyer, when we talked about the Rand Corporation, were just wrong. He didn't give any actual evidence. And he just said, oh, these things are much more boring. No, they're meant to be boring in large portions so that the normal person doesn't really even look into them. Look at that 3-minute clip from the Hudson Institute that we played via Herman Kahn. How spot on was that? Come on now. Come on now. Total war. That means the COVID 1984 is congruent with the theater war. There must be a North American Union with one currency. They intend to bring us to our knees. Forget about a North American Union. They're going digital, baby. They're going implosion and digital and UBI slavery. I warn people against the universal basic income. I warn people about automation. I warn people about DARPA. Well, they have that guy from Boston, your cousin from Boston. And it's like every ridiculous down the line narrative following, funny. I guess I'll be that guy because he drinks Sam Adams beer. I guess I'll dance with robots because he drinks Sam Adams beer. I guess I'll pull my pants down and take it any way they want it because he drinks Sam Adams beer. Wild. People getting caught up in the Elon fanboying. Exactly. Look, think about it this way. I have big problems with Donald Trump and his administration. But there's a guy who maybe had several $1 billion. Maybe he had 10. Let's give him 10 billion. That would be more than I think that he had. Maybe in all of his assets, but 10 billion. And that's a sizable chunk of change for people like you and me, right? They went after him in every way, shape, or form. They didn't allow him to get become the richest man on paper. No. Elon Musk is a front. All of his money comes from what? Government contracts, classified technologies that then he is pushing as consumer products, aka Trojan horse civilian systems. Come on now. I hope you feel better, man. Thanks for your work. I hope I feel better too. But guys, honestly, some of the best things are going on in my life right now. I feel so lucky. First of all, I feel so blessed that I'm able to do this as a living. I feel so blessed that I'm here, and I'm going to go make some connections and talk to other people and hopefully help them expand their stuff as well. But, this is what it's all about, and fighting this stuff. It's about maintaining your humanity, trying to help others, right? And pushing forward against this very, very real anti-human, Great Reset agenda that is just New World Order repackaging for their great narrative, which is falsehoods. And let me say this as simple as I can. I've said it before, and I've meant it every time I've said it. It's very simple. Lies don't make friends. Lies don't make lasting, trustworthy, loving, human relationships where we embrace one another, okay? And we empower one another. That's not what lies do. And all of this is based on a mountain of lies to take away your very humanity, what some would even call a soul. Oh, let's see. Come on, man. I did this slide in Biden. Thanks, Bermas. Thank you. James Freeman is this close to get very corrupt cops fired. Gaslighting to the hills. LOLs. Elon's parents are lifelong technocrats, ergo eugenicists. How's everything in New York State? Back to pre-pandemic open status? Apparently, but we'll see next week when I go there. I haven't been to New York State for a while now. It's been quite a while, maybe almost a year, maybe more than a year. I can't even tell you, but close to a year, if not more than a year. Clown World in full swing. And have you thought about streaming on Odyssey? It's always a possibility, man. But again, I'm trying to build people into platforms. Like, look, Odyssey's great. I'm glad they backed up my channel. I have less than 3,000 followers on that thing. You know what I mean? I'm already shadow banned hardcore on Twitter. I've had to work for every one of my 30,000+ followers there. And you know, I kick and I scream and I claw at YouTube for the 67 there. You know what's been good to me? Rockfin. I'm at almost 55,000. So Rockfin. And plus their interface is a lot easier. And you know, they have a real way for me to connect with my audience and be able to do this as a livelihood. It's not out of the question because we do have to obviously expand somehow. Have you been following the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial? No, I have not. No, it's annoying because I use the Daily Mail as a good aggregate for news, and they're always streaming it live. And there's always like 8 different stories there. So I'll catch a headline here or an animated GIF of him like throwing bottles at stuff, and I don't care. I don't care. I love 21 Jump Street. I just don't care. It's just, look, as far as I know, those people, no matter who was abusive to who and what happened, and I'm not trying to condone any kind of abuse to women, I want to make that very clear. It was a consensual relationship for a very long time. They were in it together. It wasn't like, a physical rape. I mean, look, I've seen enough dysfunctional relationships on both ends of the spectrum to say you don't want that poison in your life. I'll say it again, lies don't make friends. Know what you're getting into. Proof has come out. Guys, what are you doing? We're on YouTube, please, guys. Again, you're gonna get me kicked off of YouTube. Stop. Trump was in. All right, listen. We don't talk about the V word here when we're on YouTube. That's the bottom line. In fact, that's probably a good time to wrap it up. New York is normal now, but the city is destroyed. I believe that. Let's see. I watched Loose Change documentary back in 2006, wrote a paper about it in college. My professor didn't want to allow me to write that paper. Weird, Kate. Weird. And listen, let's talk about that. Do you think I was wrong about 9/11? Do you think it wasn't an international intelligence operation? Do you think that different nation states don't collude with one another? Huh? Do you not realize Homeland Security was a bad idea now? Do you not believe you were the domestic terrorist all along? It was about to eviscerating your rights, bringing up the continuity of government program, and empowering things like signature reduction, the open, secret military that they use against us? Come on. So, guys, here's the deal. I need your support now more than ever. Obviously, it wasn't free for me to drive here and get this hotel. It's not like I got the #1 stunner, but we didn't stay in a rat motel. I'm actually in like this little plaza with a bunch of different hotels, and stuff. It's interesting. I've never spent any time in Tulsa, Oklahoma. What I did do today was I went around to pawn shops and thrift stores like I always do, and looked for like retro video games and good deals. In fact, got a nice 8 terabyte hard drive right over here for $90, which is a steal. That'll be great to keep a lot of information on. And I just want to say this, guys, a little bit of a jumbled broadcast, a little bit of a jumbled week. I'm going to be trying to do more and more content. I'm going to try to get as many interviews and make as many connections as I can over the next 2 days at this podcast thing I'm at with Clay Clark. And I know there's people that don't want me to do that. God forbid I talk to people who would disagree with me and make connections with those people. You know, most people don't agree with Jason Bermas on everything. And that's okay. And I encourage that because I'm not brilliant and I'm not a genius, okay? It's through open dialogue and presentation of the facts that you're talking about while you treat the other person like a human being, where you're able to get things across to them and make real changes and changes in your personal life and their personal life. And that's how we grow. Because look, right now it's Team Humanity versus Team Transhumanist. And I'm not going down without a fight. It's not about left or right, guys. It's always about right and wrong. I love you, and I'll see you on the flip side.